Okay, I think we're going to start. There is a lot that we need to get through today's event. It's 6 o'clock on the dot. I think people will just come in and join in as we go along. My name is Betha Hokong, and I'm the organizer for this event. I come from a company called Mobile GPT, and basically what we do is a lot of generative AI projects. And so we started this meetup and hoping to build a community of like-minded generative AI enthusiasts. And this is our very first event. So thank you so much for joining along with the event. And I'm just going to quickly share my screen. And as we go along, I will have a presentation, but I would really love for this to be a discussion as opposed to me going through presentation slides, because the whole point is for us to connect and to get to know each other. And normally we spend the first few minutes just doing introductions. So, while we get ready for that, if you're willing to share a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the team, just sort of prepare that while I take you through very high level what the goals and the intention of this session is, right? So, this session is being recorded for your information. So just be aware of it. If you're uncomfortable with the session being recorded, you can exit, but just be aware that the session is being recorded for future reference. So we got a lot of interest in this event, and we asked people as they were RSVPing for the event what they really wanted to get out of the event. And I've written down as much as I could write on one slide presentation about what people are looking forward to get out of this event. And I'm going to go through the points bit by bit, and then I will go through the team again to do the introductions for people that want to, to introduce themselves. A lot of people, the common thread amongst people that were RSVPing is people want to learn. They want to learn about AI. They want to learn about how to apply AI in business. And there's a couple of people that talk about networking. So we'll give you the opportunity to introduce yourselves there. But the majority, the common thread is just learning about AI in business and the tools that are available and how to get started, what's out there, what's happening, what's trending, how to become more productive in your business, how to increase your capacity using AI tools, what's good, what's not. And you've come to the right place, because with our experience in our business, we are definitely going to give you everything you need to know about all the tools that's out there, the important ones, the good ones. We can even give a little bit of experience and insights into the tools we've used. And this is not a chat GPT focused presentation, by the way. We are going to talk about everything except chat GPT. Not that there's anything wrong with chat GPT, but I'm going to be sharing with you a whole lot of exciting tools that's out there that hasn't been discovered. Some of that is actually free and does a whole lot of what ChatGPT does, or even more. So we'll get into it a little bit later. But before we do that, I'm going to go back to the group and just go through the room, and let's introduce ourselves. If you're comfortable to talk a little bit about yourself while you're at the event, I'll just give the first few minutes for that. For those who joined it a little bit later, my name is Betha Hokong, and I'm the organizer for the event. I'm from a company called Mobile GPT, and basically our business is AI. Anybody else that wants to go and introduce yourselves, just unmute and go for it. Ngaba, are you there? Wang, are you there?
Hi, yes, it's Wayne here. Sorry, I was trying to find the mute button,
Sure.
unmute button. Okay. Yeah, I'm Wayne, a solutions architect. I work in the IT industry for a systems integrator. So I joined this session just to find out how AI is being used in the industry. I know from a global perspective or an international perspective, there are a lot of companies out there using it. I just wanted to find out locally in South Africa how people are applying AI in their day-to-day jobs. And then, like you said, it's AI in business. Like, how are you guys applying it in the consultancy space or whatever vertical you're in? How is it helping you? And I just want to learn from that, and then gain more knowledge as to its applications and how I, as a solutions architect, can also benefit from either the implementation or just using it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Wang. Next one, Carol. Carol, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? We can pass Carol Guguletu. James Machubeng, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for the invitation. My name is Machiwen James. I am the CEO of Matoto Group of Companies. Within the group, we've got about 12 companies there. One of the companies is called AI Wealth Merchants. So it is the reason why I joined this session. AI Wealth Merchants, I'll be doing the countrywide AI activities and lessons, especially what you will be covering today. But for unemployed youth and a man on the street, so that they understand the role of AI and to crash out the notion
Recording
that
is on.
AI will take jobs and all of those. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, James. Thank you,
Thank you.
James. I'm gonna go and mute you. The next one, I think let's keep the introductions short as well, so we can get through everybody and continue. Romeo.
Thank you. My name is Romeo Rambao. I own a company called the AI Cybersecurity. So we also in the cyberspace, and when we do consult, there are a lot of clients who do ask us about AI. So I just want to see and learn from you guys on what you do and how I could implement it to my clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Romeo. Next, Sidonio Nokolo. Again, let's keep the intros short.
Recording has stopped.
Jennifer, Nate, Spe. Just unmute and then you can talk. And yeah.
Hi. So I just put a message in the chat that I'm in a very loud place.
Okay.
I still wanted to join, but CP, I have a group of companies, and one of them is in the tech space, and I've always been interested in AI. I also try to use it quite a bit in my consulting business. So I just wanted to know how I can get better with it.
Okay. Thank you, Spe. So I think with that, I will head on straight to the presentation because we still have a lot to get through, guys. If anybody wants to jump in at any point to ask a question, please use the chat box. I might not see it immediately because I'm sharing my presentation, but when we come towards the end, I will go through the questions in there, and at the same time, you're more than welcome to, if there's something really pressing, you're more than welcome to jump in there, and I'll try and give opportunities as I go through the presentation for questions, because I really want this to be sort of an engaging discussion as opposed to me standing in front of a group of people talking. So on a very high level, there's a couple of trends we're going to cover in this presentation. Obviously, talking about AI in business, it's such a broad topic that I thought, let me just focus on a few things that I can cover in 1 hour. Hopefully, after this session, I'll get some feedback, and I'm expecting to get some feedback from you guys. Then we can maybe drill into a specific area that you think it's more interesting than another. So today is going to be very, very generic, and we're going to try and see where the interest lies. So where are the trends going in business? If you think about business is all about making profitability and being efficient, saving money. And then generative AI came in there. How can you use generative AI to be more efficient and save money? So the trends that we're seeing emerging, and I'm talking about within the last 12 months, from like early 2023 to where we are right now with respect to businesses. I'm going to discuss this AI-powered chatbot. And AI powered chatbots, I'm not talking about ChatGPT. I'm talking about as a business. Let's say you're running a business, you're macro, and or you are a business like South African Airways, Fly SAA, and you need and normally you've got 100 or 200 or 1,000 support agents that sit there and answer calls every day. Right, what we're seeing is that businesses are seeing that it's inefficient to try and hire entire customer service department to sit and answer calls and answer every message one by one, like DSTV. So what we're doing is what we're seeing businesses going sort of going towards is saying, how do we build an intelligent chatbot that is AI powered, that we can train? So if you're SAA, you can train your chatbot with regards to your customer queries. You can input your customer data, you can input all the information, and people can just talk to the chatbot, and the chatbot can act like a human being, where it can go and find information from the background and answer questions, and save money and time, with respect to hiring agents. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that later in the presentation, and I'll show you example tools that exist right now that you can already use to create your own sort of AI powered chatbots that are trained on your own information. So this is not a generic chatbot. This is me building a chatbot for a specific use case that I train, and I do that. So that's one of the trends we're going to talk about. The second one is content creation. This one is an oldie. It's been around for a while, but we're talking about beyond the old content creation. I mean, we used to have, if you still remember your Jasper AIs and your Copy AIs, where you could go there and like generate a blog or generate a something that you can use on your social media. We are seeing AI generation becoming more intelligent, where you can ask it, generate me a video of that I can use to market this brand, and you give it just a little bit of information and it can generate like a marketing brand video. We're seeing AI becoming so intelligent that you can ask it, please generate me a content plan, including content that I can post for the next 5 days on my social media, and it will put visuals. It will do a lot of things that would have taken maybe a content planner a couple of hours to do, but the AI can now do that. So we're seeing content generation going from basic text generation to multimedia, multimodal generation, and we'll cover that as well in the presentation. Hopefully we'll have time to get through some of the tools. I will give practical examples and practical tools within this presentation, and I'll show you the website, and I'll show you where you can go and get those things done. And AI powered agents, this is another trend that we're seeing. So after ChatGPT came out, we're seeing people saying, but ChatGPT is like, you have to ask it for everything. So you want to write a blog, or you want to organize a trip to travel to I don't know, to Zanzibar in June. You have to go to ChatGPT and say, please help me search for flights, and then it searches flights, and then you must search through them, and then, oh, please help me search for accommodation. But these are things that are actually technically, should make sense to be chronological if you're organizing a trip. If you went to a travel agent, they would be able to say, no, to organize a trip, you need flights, you need accommodation, you need a place to stay, you need excursions, you need these things. And these are very generic flow of things. We are seeing now, we call them like AI agents, that you're able to just ask an AI agent one high level task, help me plan a trip. And an AI agent can figure out, okay, to plan a trip, you're going to need these things. And then it can go and find all those things and actually just complete an entire task, which includes it doing multiple small tasks, So you give it a high level objective, and it does small things, and it finalizes, and it does everything at the end. And we call those AI agents, and we'll show you also some examples of some AI agents that are out there. There are websites you can go to and play around with them. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for, and so forth. And then another interesting trend that we might not cover, but I think it's important to mention now that we're talking about AI in business. ChatGPT came out and they revolutionized everything, and they brought the whole idea of large language models, and then after that we saw a lot of large language models coming up. What a large language model is, it's the sort of technology behind how tools like ChatGPT work. They work around generative AI models that are trained on large language understanding. But we are seeing something different coming up now, especially with the agent. We're seeing something we call large action models, and I think we're going to be seeing that grow in the next couple of months, because it's no longer enough for me to generate text using a language. People are, the trend is people now want to create assistants and agents that can understand my text and generate text, but perform actions. Like on my phone, I can say, please search for this song on. I want to play Mariah Carey, this and this, and it has to take an action to search for Spotify and take an action to log me in and find the song and play it for me. So we call those large action models, where it's not just about understanding the language, but understanding certain actions you must take from different things. And we're seeing variations of that coming along, and I think that's going to be interesting in how that plays out in the tools that are being developed, right? So we might not get enough time to go through the large action model sort of like functionalities out there, but on a very high level, this is what I'm going to cover in this presentation today: the chatbots, the content generation, and the agents. Questions at this stage before we go on, or comments? Okay, if there's no actions or comments or questions, I will start immediately. I know this is not mentioned in my original slide, but I think this is important because this is foundational generative AI, sort of. This is where you get started. Normally, I start my journey with searching, and Google has been so popular as a company because of the search. Let's be honest, Google was made popular by, even the word Google is in the dictionary now as a term for searching. So AI has revolutionized how we search for information. If you think about the old way of searching for information, is going to Google and typing something, and then maybe you're going to see a couple of ads, and then you're going to see a couple of irrelevant things, and then you're going to see a couple of websites that pay Google to show you what they want to show you, and maybe down the line you will see something useful that you're looking for, right? So all of that has been thrown out the window with AI. Nowadays, searching, I personally don't even use Google anymore, even for search functionality. I'm going to show you a couple of search tools that you can already start using right now. Most of them actually free, and they will do 100 times, even 1,000 times a better job than Google. And more importantly, privacy becoming a real issue with respect to being tracked all over the internet, right? A lot of these search tools, promise privacy and will give you privacy, which means you are not going to be tracked everywhere you go. And more importantly, the things you're searching are not going to be made visible to platforms so they can market you things, right? So this is this is one of the things I'm most excited about. And there's a lot of tools here, and I might not show you all of them. So I've got my website, I've got the website open here, and as I go through the tools, I'll explain what it is and how to get to it. So Consensus is very popular. This is it's not a new thing, but it's very popular with regards to searching for academic or when you search for things where you need sort of references, specifically if you're doing academic research or work research. So let's say you've got an assignment and you need to research a very specific topic, and you need also like insights around, who said that about what. You can use Consensus, and I'll put the links. I think I'll do like after event session, I'll put all of these links in one place, and then I'll email it to everyone that has RSVP'd post the event, so you can have this link, so you don't have to like write things down as I go along, but I will share all of these links with you. Consensus, really, really powerful tool. Like it gives you, and it also like it sort of segregates the information that you search, and then it even tells you the probability that something is true or something is not true. So you can ask, let me pick an example. Does creatine help build muscle? Let's say you are having an argument, and this is how quickly it searches. It gives you an actual answer. It gives you the probability that it's yes or no based on on where it found the information from. It even gives you links to where you can go read that research study that says yes or no. So it's like fact-based search. as opposed to if I did the same search on Google, I'd find 5 people selling me creatine before I actually get the answer to my question, right? So this is really, really interesting. Microsoft Bing has been there for a while. I think everybody knows Bing. But I think I just had to mention it here because it's an alternative. But personally, I think Bing is just another Google, if I have to be honest. What really got me excited is Perplexity AI. Perplexity is quickly becoming, and I think by my estimations, I think this is going to surpass a lot of these. It's going to be the one that's going to be at the top at the end of all of these. When the dust settles, I think it's going to be one of the ones that remains. Perplexity AI is a search engine, and you can actually use it for free. You can subscribe if you want to get more generative AI functionality, but you can go to the website and you can use it for free and you can search. So if you wanted to search a topic, let me think of something, who is Tabo Bester, whatever. What I love about Perplexity is that it answers the question, it gives you visuals at the same time so you can understand what it is, but it doesn't just it doesn't just do what Google does where it just gives you links to what you're searching for and adverts. It actually goes through all of this information, it reads it summarizes you, and it creates you a report of an answer to your question. You understand? So it's a search engine that searches what you're giving it, but it analyzes it at the same time, and then it creates a response and summarizes all of that information, and then it gives you the links to those places. So if you wanted to go and read more, you can still go and read more, but most of the time you just really wanted the answer to the question. No ads, no tracking, no privacy concerns. Obviously you have to work, you can use it on Chrome, so Chrome itself is tracking you, but just to mention that on a high level, that I'm really excited about what Perplexity can do. And because of time, I'm not going into the details. I'm just going very, very high level. Later on, you guys can, when I share the links, feel free to play around with the tools. And the last tool that I think I want to cover is Andy, because Andy, I think, is even better than Perplexity. But I from what I've observed, this Andy search, it is slightly less, less, the team behind it has got sort of less resources. You could see that Perplexity is created, it's very high quality, it's supported by Silicon Valley companies, great big investors with big deep pockets, so they've built a really great platform. On the other side, Andy, you can see this is a startup, these guys are building something. But I love, and this one, you don't even have to log in. As opposed with Perplexity, you need to create an account to use it. But Andy, you can just use it without even a profile. You can go in here, search for what you search for, who is Tabo Bester, and you do not even have to tell them who you are or anything like that. And it's got ways in which it sort of produces your results. With Andy, when you get your results on this side, it's got a visual, it combines the images with the text, unlike some, search where you have to go, I want to search images, or I want to search maps, or I want to search whatever. It actually combines that and gives you a full picture. So here's one link. You can visit this website. You can just read the website. Like if I don't want to actually leave here and I just want to see what's here, I can just click this button and just read it without ever going to Wikipedia. Or I can summarize everything that's there. So let's say I liked what's there. I can click summarize, and it uses AI in the background, and it will summarize that website for me. So I was doing a search, and I can summarize this, and I can copy and paste and put it somewhere else, which is really amazing. Or I can ask it to explain. So I think this is really powerful for wanting to understand a topic really, really quickly. Visit the website, read more right here, summarize the content, or get a better explanation, and combining the visual, the images with the thing. So I love Andy. Andy actually, it's my now go-to search engine. Between Andy and Perplexity, that's what I use for for searching nowadays ever since I was introduced to AI. And both of them free platforms, no advertising, no tracking, no issues, no being shown what you're not actually looking for. You're only seeing what you're looking for. And with that, I think I'm going to move on. I will leave the links to the other ones, and you can see them later, because they're all pretty much similar. I think if I've shown you Andy and Perplexity, you will get an understanding of pretty much what the other tools look like. Any questions so far? All right. So Search AI, exciting. The next sort of set of use cases and tools for AI in business I want to talk about is the bots, because I think this was someone saying something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if we wanted to integrate into these search AI, or what do you call them? Search AI applications, like from the back end. Who do we chat to in terms of integrating into that back end?
Majority of what I've seen does not have APIs, but you can double check on their websites. I will send the links throughout. When I finish this event, I will write a newsletter and I will email it to everyone who attended with all the links. And then you can check on their documentation. But from what I've observed, this is just my personal observation, is a lot of these tools actually combine, APIs like ChatGPT and APIs like search APIs, and then they use the search APIs with the language models to produce the outcome. So if you knew how to do that yourself, you could technically do it. You could use an API key with OpenAI, use a Google search API, and then search for a topic, get what's the outcome from Google search, process it, and then produce this. This is just a visual representation after you've done it. But I don't think I've seen anyone that provides it as an integration functionality though. But some of them do. I think with the image generation, some of them do. But like, I'll share all the links, and you can do a deeper dive into their specific websites and APIs if they have.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And then the AI bots. So I think this one, I talked about it as a trend, and I see a lot of these, and these companies just blew up overnight. A lot of these companies you see on my link here that I've taken screenshots of are all new, except for like maybe Zapier and Tidio that have existed, that have managed to integrate this functionality into their own apps, because they've seen how much this has blown up in the next couple of months. So these companies have become successful like overnight. Like Chatbase, for example, I think went from zero to, I think, like $200,000 revenue, monthly revenue, like in 2 months, which means companies are going towards using these things. A lot of these companies are in that range of like 200,000 to 500,000 US dollars in monthly revenue from building these platforms. And that's because this is a need that's out there, and people are building this. People need this functionality. And what is this functionality? Is what I explained. The ability to create a chatbot for your business with your company information, immediately deploy it on your website, and have people come to your website, and instead of them having to talk to an assistant, they talk to a chatbot. So these are all the companies that allow you to do this. And what I like about these is, this is actually a business opportunity for, I don't know, the consultants and the guys out there that are advising clients. A lot of these platforms allow you to build multiple bots at the same time for multiple websites. So you could be the solution implementer for your client and say, no, we'll get you a chatbot for your thing, and you could go and build it in any one of these platforms, pay the $100 a month subscription fee that they're charging, and then you could charge your clients anything, because this is a need for many, many businesses. So I'll start with the obvious ones. Let's just look at Tidio and Zapier, because Zapier is actually, I think, is this Zapier? Yeah, this is Zapier. Zapier is a platform everybody uses, and I think Zapier saw this and they're like, okay, we need to get into this chatbot business. And Zapier was never a chatbot business. Zapier is like a an integration platform. But because they're an integration platform, they have already their data sources integrated. So imagine my business is, I don't know, let me pick, I'm a software business. I've got my client lists in some CRM, which I've integrated to Zapier. I've got an e-commerce store somewhere in Shopify that I've integrated to Zapier. I've got multiple apps all over that I've all integrated to Zapier. I can actually build a chatbot in Zapier that can take all of those data sources, and then I go plant that chatbot in my website, and people go there and ask it questions, and it can go and read information of wherever that I've connected to the Zapier and sort of respond. So this is like how this works, right? And so this is the first example that I wanted to cover. The other one is Lyra by Tidio, because I used to use Tidio actually quite a bit on my site. And now they've implemented an AI chatbot assistant, which does the exact same thing. So you can just sort of, connect your sources, and you can, put that website chatbot like this on your website. So it has like a UI that looks something like that, and you can build this in Tidio, and then plant this on your website. I think they give you like some embed code that you put on your website, and then when people come there, previously they would have to ask a question, and a client services person would have to respond and say, yeah, we can help you with that. But now with the AI is responding, is doing all the responding on the other side. You've trained it with your customer data. It knows what it needs to say. If it can't answer a question, maybe you can give a flow where it collects the information and then sends it to your team for somebody else to ask the question later. But most of the questions you get on websites are very generic, replicated type questions. It's always the same thing. What's the price? What's this? What's that? And a chatbot can cover maybe 80% of the queries that you get on your chatbot. On your website. So Tidio is one other one. So these are the old ones. The new ones, some of the new successful ones is Chatbase. So Chatbase is this one over here. Chatbase, it works exactly like Tidio and everything that I've explained. You basically you log in here, and you can create multiple bots, and you sort of connect your data sources, like anything from Google Docs to Notion to your own website documentation, links, upload PDF documents, whatever your data format is in, it doesn't matter. You can upload, you just hold it in the chatbot, and then you train it, and you get it to answer the way you want it, and then you get like some embed code, and you take that code, you give it to a developer, they put it on your website, and then you get a bot like this on your website, and people ask questions, and boom, it answers exactly the way you've trained it and does all the things. I think the only thing I haven't seen yet with all these bots is a bot that can actually even make sales and connect with your with your e-commerce, because that would be interesting the day we see that happening. But I'm sure this is in development. Probably if we have this discussion in 2 or 3 months time, we're gonna have a bot that can even take people through the entire sales process and order processing and everything like that. So all of that is a trend that we're seeing, and there's a lot of them to get through. I can't cover each and every single one of them. I think the only other interesting one that I want to talk about is Chatfuel. Let me see, is this Chatfuel here? Chatfuel is so cool because you can, once you've built your bot, you can even deploy it on WhatsApp. You can deploy it on Messenger, you can deploy it on Instagram. So it's social, sort of like oriented. Unlike these other ones that are all based online, you must deploy them on a website. What's interesting about Chatfuel is that you can build it and you can deploy it on, on platforms where users are. So imagine you have a WhatsApp chatbot, like some of the chatbots we've got in our business. But as opposed to it being a generic chatbot, it's your personal chatbot and you can do this no code, which is another problem that a lot of sort of, businesses have is, right now you can hire a company like me, a developer, to develop this for you. But these platforms allow you to do this no code, so you create an account and you go through some visual builder. Usually there's some sort of visual builder that you go through where you define what the chatbot must do. Then you upload your whatever, and then your chatbot is ready. You train it a little bit, tell it what it should say, and then you get a code. Like you don't need to have development or coding experience, So if you're like someone that's not a developer, you can completely get started with doing this. And I think for the consultants in the group, if you're consulting within the AI space, this is probably one of the biggest opportunities that exists right now with respect to utilizing AI tools for business purposes. Because if you look at the amount of money these companies are making right now, it's a great opportunity there. And yeah, so I'll pause here for questions again before I go into the next one. Questions?
Just a quick one. With the bots, is there a way where I can create like my own chat GPT, or maybe something which can come up with a whole solution which is created for my company per se?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what these platforms are doing. That's exactly what they're doing. You are creating your own chat GPT with your own data. And it will behave the way you want it to behave. So you will even like give it a, I mean, I can't go through the process of doing the bot step by step because we will not have the time. But
Yes, yes.
all these links that I'm gonna share with you, in fact all of them, you can do exactly that. You can create your own chatbot with your own data, with your own information. You can have it behave the way you want it to behave, and then you can deploy it where you want. You can deploy it. Most of them, they give you this kind of embed, which means you can deploy it on the side of your website like a chat widget. And then some of them, like this one I was talking about, is something you can deploy on WhatsApp or Messenger, or you can deploy this on it's WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram. Which means people in your Instagram, they could be messaging your business, but actually it's this chatbot in the background that's talking that you've trained.
Okay, and I get it.
Sure. Any other question there? And I think maybe one.
Yes,
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
yes, sure. But my question quickly: any reason why you didn't include Dante AI? Because I think it's quite good as far as building one's own chatbot assistant is concerned. So
What is it, Dante?
I don't
What
know.
is it called? DE?
Yeah, Dante AI, yeah, like that.
Like this?
DA, sorry.
Oh, DA. Dante, like this one.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's advanced as well, and then you can build your own knowledge base and all of that.
Oh, wonderful.
Unless if you chose those based on prices.
No, I didn't choose them based on prices. But I will include it. I will add it. I will check it, and then I will add it together with when I send out the information. I didn't even look at prices. I just, obviously there's only so much space I could put on a PowerPoint presentation. There's many more that I haven't included, I'll be honest. So
Yeah.
I picked the
And
first.
they pop almost every day. Yeah?
Yes, there's new. That's why they're popping out every day, because the market and the demand, and it's an industry that hadn't been dominated by anybody, so it's a whole new industry, right? And they're making tons of money. These businesses, like some of them, I follow them on platforms where they share their revenues. Like these guys are killing it. They're making millions in rands a month from just doing this
Yeah.
chatbot stuff. It's unbelievable.
Those are the same here. Those are the ones that I really follow when they talk about the deals that they closed since their inception. So it's quite astronomical. Eh?
Yeah, it's amazing what they're doing. So yeah, that
Yeah.
will be interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to see the trend moving towards. And actually, as our business, we're trying to develop a one that will take you through, e-commerce and integrating what we talked about here, large action. Because I think that's the next step in the evolution. Actions. Because right now, a lot of these chatbots are large language model focused. They can answer questions that you've given it data to be trained on, so they are large language models. But we actually are working on building a large an action model oriented chatbot that you can also plug on websites like this, where it's not just answering questions based on information, but actually it's gonna do action. So if somebody wants to to actually like, I like, let's say you have an e-commerce store and they're like, oh yeah, can you show me all your white t-shirts? And then it collects the data and shows you the white t-shirts, right? But this is just language. And then if a client says, okay, I want to buy this one, right? Currently these bots, that's where they end up. Right, what we're trying to develop is, if a client says, I want to buy this one, it goes into the action of actually making the sale. And okay, if you want to buy this one, okay, good, here's a payment link, go and make a payment there, and then it initiates an order. It then adds the order to your, to your order list, and then it updates the client with a tracking number and things like that. And it takes actions. It doesn't just
Yeah.
and
There is one, I'm going to find it and share in the group. There is one that can actually, I did test it and it was able to log into my Take a Lot account, placed an order, debited my credit card, and completed the order, all of those things. And it's done so in real life. You can see the all of those actions on the desktop, like there is a person moving the mouse and all of those. So it was quite good.
Oh, okay. What is it called? What is it called?
I'll find it just
Okay.
now and share it. I forgot. As you started explaining, I realized that there is actually one that does that.
I think we're going to see a lot of those ones popping up and becoming more and more popular, because like I said, the trend is moving from large language towards large action. The ability to take actions and actually do things on your behalf. So
Yeah,
thank
I'll
you.
find it and share here.
Thank you. Can we mute the person that's got background noises, or do you want to ask a question? All right. Okay, cool. So then the next thing that I want to talk about after the AI chatbots is the AI agents. And I think AI agents are actually exactly that, what we're talking about. They are action oriented. They're not just languages, they are action oriented. They're looking at performing specific actions beyond being able to just retrieve information for you. And I think this is where AI is going. For me, this is my prediction for 2024. We're going to see the agents blow up. So the very first agent action oriented that I came across in my small little experience within the AI space is definitely agent GPT, right? So agent GPT, I think, popped up like last year, April or so, right after the big, AI blow up, and there was agent GPT. Agent GPT is so smart. It's able to you can tell it, like I did an example here. I didn't want to go through the whole process of showing that to you, but like, I asked it, please help me plan a trip from South Africa to Zanzibar for 2 people in March. And then it's able to decide, okay, cool, for me to do this, I need these tasks, and then on its own, without you telling it, you just give it a high level instruction. And then it figures out the tasks on its own that it needs to accomplish. I need to search flights, I need to compare prices, I need to then book the flight, I need to plan accommodation and so forth. And I think some of these actions, if you actually subscribe, you can actually like integrate certain, what they call plugins and add-ons that it can actually take some actions on your behalf, and so this is really exciting. And this is going away from, like, let's say you want to build please help me build a landing page website using, because that's another type of high level a function that might require multiple actions. So please help me build a landing page website using Django. Okay, I need to do the HTML. Okay, I need to do this, and it figures out the tasks on its own based on what you've asked it to do. And then after it figures out the tasks, then it goes through the tasks one by one, right? So the first task was to research flights. It's connected to the internet. It's able to go and search for flights. The same way these search platforms work, it does exactly that, but this is integrated into the agent. After it finds the search, after it does all of that search, it compiles you a summary report, which is what you want. You want the summary report. These are all the flights I found. I found cheap flights, Kenya, Expedia, Trip, and this is the prices. It shows you, all of them in one place in a report, and then it gives you the links. So this works like the way the search platforms work, but it's integrated into the agent within a task action. Then the next task it decided was to, okay, I need to now compare prices. Then it does that. It goes and looks at the price and does that. Then it looks for accommodation for 2 people in March. Then it goes and searches in March, what is the accommodation? You can see, you can open it up, and then it found a couple of places. It takes, the point is that without going through every single part of it, is getting a list of tasks, getting into those tasks, executing them one by one, and giving you the results of the execution, going to the next task. So this is like action oriented and very high level agent functionalities, and I think this is something that's going to be really, really useful going forward within the AI space, as we are also transitioning away from this just large language to large action. And I'm really excited about Agent GPT. I haven't paid for the subscription because it's not cheap. So at this stage, you can use it for free, but like, this is all I could do in one day, so I must wait for tomorrow. I've already used up all my credits with just one search. So some of these things are expensive, and I think then it creates an opportunity. I think it's expensive because people are paying this price. So if you were a developer and you're into the development space, this is for me also an opportunity of apps to develop within the action space, because there isn't a lot of them. If you look at all of the things I've shared, with these ones, I was able to find examples until I ran out of space. But when it came to the action stuff, actually, I didn't find a lot of examples. There isn't a lot of people doing this. And I think there's still an opportunity to if you were a developer, to integrate this to build apps that do this. I think the market is still open on this. There isn't a lot of competition. There isn't anyone doing it. There's very few people doing it. There's people doing it, but there's few, and they're charging exorbitant prices. If you look at like their subscriptions, $40, just for like 25 loops. And 25 loops is like, it's not a lot of things, so they're charging you very little, $40. And if you need any more than that, you're going to be paying a custom price, which is, so if you can charge this amount of money, I think you can make quite a lot of, think about it, with respect to opportunities. I see that there. And another one is, there's a couple of them. So this is Agent GPT. This is one of the first ones. I know this blew up when it first came out. I think they even changed their URL. It wasn't always this. And then you've got Relevance AI. Relevance AI, I think it's more, so Relevance and Promptly are more business oriented. So these are, there were a lot of responses when people were RSVPing to the event of people who want to become more productive in the workplace with AI. If you want to be more productive in the workplace with AI, this is exactly the kind of tool that you want. Between Promptly, Capably, and this one, Relevance, you can build workflows, or the AI can even build workflows for you, because they are agents. You describe what you want to be achieved, but this is built within a corporate environment where you can work with teams and things like that, and then you can get it to perform like repetitive tasks. So if you think about the field of RPA, robotic process automation, a lot of that robotic process automation kind of work within businesses can be taken over by AI agents, if you design them properly. So we used to have, if I give you a bit of background about robotic process automation, it's one of the services we used to deliver back then. It sounds like back then, but it's only like a year and a half ago, where companies would say, every day we get an invoice by email, and then we have to enter it into the system. Someone has to download it and load it into the system, and then we have to read the invoice and then enter it as a PO. Like, there are specific steps they must follow, but the steps are the same. Every day it's the same steps. And so there's like 3 or 4 interns who have to do this manually, and they would build like robotic process automation processes around it, where we can like automatically read your email, and if there's an inbox, an invoice, we can download it, and we can read the invoice, and then we can like get the information, use the API, import it into your your accounting system, create a PO, like. But there's certain steps, but we did it automatically using code. But that was still tedious, because it still involved me writing that code step by step, and the code could fail at any point if the invoice now looks different the next time. I remember we had the invoice would need to look exactly the same, but if the template changes, we have to rebuild the whole process again. But now with AI agents, where we're not hard coding things, the agent can read the document and understand it because it's using language models and natural language, as opposed to being hard coded and to go read line number 1, sentence number 2, So you're going to see some of those RPA functionalities in businesses being automated with agents and being more efficient. If the template changes, probably the agent will still work because it wasn't hard coded. The coding was not hard coded, it was intelligent, understand? So this is also opportunities for guys that are consultants. You can get into the RPA space right now, and there's a lot of money into RPAs. Like big corporates pay developers tons of money to build these automations for them. But now, actually, with AI, a lot of those RPA businesses are going to be out of business, because now, if you can train an AI agent well enough, you can get it to do maybe 80% of those RPA tasks, if you get the actions designed nicely. So I'm also excited to see about, a little bit more about the AI agents. And any questions on this one before I go into the last 2 tools? I'm going to really jump over this so I can have like 5 minutes in the end to just like close out. Any questions on the AI agents? And by the way, I will share all of these links. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'll do a write-up, I will do a newsletter, I will put all of these links in a link, and I will email to everybody that has RSVP'd, and you'll have this information as I'm explaining it here today. So don't worry about missing something. So within the last 5 minutes or so, I just want to cover video generation. This is exciting.
Sorry, just one question from me.
Yes.
You mentioned, I put this in the chat. You mentioned something about, like, I remember which of these you're showing us and say that you've gone over a loop. What is a loop exactly?
What is
a loop? You had said that you'd gone over a loop, and you're saying that one of them is too expensive for 25 loops. I don't know what a loop is.
Okay. So I was referring to the agent GPT. So the agent GPT over here, it charges loops per agent. And what loops are is, you see over here, when you have an agent and you say, I want to do one, it has to decide on tasks that it must cover. But it's limited. Like this one was a test one, so it was limited to 5, because I'm on the free trial. So when it finished 5 of these loops, it actually just like stopped and said, hey, you're out of credits. It didn't finish. So I think it's just what they allow you is an allowance that you're given per agent, and then you're only given like 30 agents in a day. So in a day you can do 30 agents, but each one of those agents, you can't do more than 30 of these tasks at a time. All right, let me just
so the free one was then one agent with 5 loops, and then that means it makes 5 different tasks of whatever you tell it.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
And within, there you go. So within, it's 5 of them. These are the 5. No, it says 5 agents, but actually I think it's the 5 loops, because I used all of them in one agent and then it stopped working. So maybe just double check it and test and see what it is. But like, these are just limits to like what you can do within the pricing that you're paying. If you want anything more, maybe you get something custom. But I don't know if you need anything with more than 25 loops at a time. I don't know. And then after we're done with the agents, I want to talk a little bit about remember the content generation. And I think these ones I won't go into like 100% detail, because I will link all of these for you. But like, you're getting a lot of the content generation becoming more and more advanced, where it's not just that I can generate text, or I can write a blog using AI, but now you can like create an entire marketing video, for example, with just a prompt, and it can go and find content to use. And this is really exciting, although some of these things are quite expensive. And I'm sure you won't need all of them. You probably just need one. If you find one good one, for example, this designer, this one that's down here, the design AI, I think is the second last one. Is it this one? Yeah, this design.ai, it's got multiple like you can generate logos with it, you can generate videos, so these are like very short. I mean, this is not a long video, like an episode tour, for a movie or like a series. These are like 1 minute, 30-second type videos, ideal for marketing purposes where you don't really need a long video, ideal for social media, because you know how when you're putting stuff on social media, people don't want to read, they want to see visuals. And you can generate your visuals, but videos are way more powerful. When people see moving pictures, they pay more attention, so this is the kind of use case that this is for. And image generation and social media and voiceovers, generating AI voices where you get a text to speech, for example, and you can get someone to read out a text to speech. There's a lot of functionalities you can employ on this. And design AI is really exciting. I haven't actually tested design AI out. Like, I've never tested the video generation functionalities, but I'm going to try it. But all of these tools can do exactly that. And the last one within the last 5 minutes that I wanted to talk about is also presentations, because this is something I've seen people use personally. Whether you want to do a pitch deck, or you want to do a presentation for a client, or you want to do PowerPoint presentations, and then you go and you like have to think long and hard, and sometimes you're going to Google templates online, and you're going to Google 25 best pitch decks, and you're going to try and read them and figure out how to create your own one that's going to be better than all of them. Now you can just get AI to write this for you. This is this is actually beautiful AI. I've looked at it and used it in some of the cases. It just makes amazing. Let me see, where's beautiful AI? Is it the first one here? I can't see it. I think it was in the last thing that I posted. But I'll share all these links with everyone, so you can just tell it, I want to do a presentation for this, I want to do a pitch deck for this, and it will go and it will create that presentation. Visme is really, really nice because it's got documents. You can generate reports, like company profile documents, graphics, social media. There is so much you can do. Like, I think the only reason why I've only listed these, if someone says there's another one I've missed, is because I only have space for so much. There's actually tons of these tools out there that are available that you can look at. And I think this is the one place where I'm going to create like a database where we can always increase upon and add more and more tools as we go along, And with that, I think I'm going to call it a day and come to the end of the presentation. And yeah, I don't know, anybody's got feedback, questions, what did you think? What do you think we should do more in the future? This is our first event within the generative AI community. We're going to have more. Perhaps the next one will be a live event where we can meet in person. I think that will be cool, around Joburg. And any other comments, you're more than welcome. If you have a comment and you're running out of time to do it here in the meeting, you're more than welcome to pop an email to me. You can respond directly to the meetup chat box. Let me just share that quickly. I created this on Meetup. So our Meetup group is this one over here. And if you go back to the event itself and you go to, I think there is like a chat. There's like an event chat. Yes. So you'll have access to the event chat for like 24 hours after like until tomorrow. You're more than welcome to pop a question in there if you have a question that you didn't, manage. And I'll try and put the link in here as well, but I will also email this to everyone. And also, please just send me suggestions around what you think we should be doing next. I'm excited about exploring this AI journey with everyone. Last comments? If there is none, I'm going to close the event. And again,
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, just a quick one. How are you guys monetizing all this?
You mean the event?
No, just the whole thing with ChatGPT and not ChatGPT, I mean AI. How are you guys then making it so it can bring revenue to you guys?
You mean like our business?
Yes, as a company, yes.
So our business, we are developers. So in our business specifically, we monetize by building these products for people. So we build we build AI products. So many clients will come and say, like some of the recent ones we're building is these chatbots. You see these chatbots? These ones. We're building a lot of these for clients. Some of them, when they need more customized chatbots, where it's not something you can use a no-code tool, because the ones on these websites are very basic, no code. You can add them together. But then we have got clients who say, no, I need some functionality where people can create quotations, and they wanna email them a quotation same time, and email them a payment link, and then if they make payment, we want to be able to record the payment. So maybe like more customized type chatbots, right? So we build those kind of chatbots for clients. We actually deployed quite a few on WhatsApp, and the reason why we wanted to do this event is to build the AI community around Joburg. Honestly, this is just a pet project. Hopefully, we can do more, as a community within these tools. But as a day business, we build these chatbots. Another chatbot that we have is this mobile GPT. Sorry, why is it taking me here? So this is a chatbot we actually own as a business, which we monetize. It is a WhatsApp based AI chatbot on WhatsApp. I covered all the AI tools and I didn't talk about this one because I didn't want to talk about our company and our stuff. I wanted to be very generic. However, since you asked, there it is. This is an AI chatbot on WhatsApp, and we build these kind of bots as well for other clients that come to us for that functionality. But like, we're in the AI space, we are developers in the AI space. Sometimes even AI agents, we can build those for clients. We build solutions that utilize AI, for people, and that's it.
On this website, Betha, why you decided to use .io extension instead of .ai?
Personally, because .ai extension is quite expensive.
I knew it.
At the prices, and it makes no difference really. .ai is actually quite expensive. We do have a .ai extension that we are going to deploy another product on, but yeah, it's probably just price. It's price.
Yeah.
Yes. .ai is not cheap.
So on my side,
Yes.
sorry, James. On my side, the one thing I'm curious about, what have you experienced in terms of the censorship that's currently happening to ChatGPT, and how it's affecting all the other bots? And where do you see this going in the future? Because I do keep seeing articles about them getting sued left, right, and center.
This is now just my own personal opinion, and don't quote me on this, even though I'm being recorded. The censorship that's happening, it's there. Even we've experienced it with our own businesses within the AI space, just getting, letters and all sorts of things left, right, and center. But I think it's going to be like in the crypto thing. It's going to come and go, because this is progress, and it's like a wave that I think people are not going to be able to stop it, right? I think the court cases are going to play out, and AI is not going to go anyway, because AI is like driven. These applications are driven by customer demand. The clients want them, and they make sense. It makes sense for me to have a bot answering questions as opposed to hiring 25 customer support agents and paying them a couple of thousands a month, right? So I think the censorship is going to come and go. I think the big companies are afraid of what ChatGPT is doing. If you look at in November, I think around the 6th of November, when the CEO of OpenAI did that press release conference, and he made the announcement around all the new tools. I think that day alone, he killed maybe, I don't know, hundreds of businesses with his presentation. The kind of tools that are coming out of OpenAI, text to speech, a lot of these things, you can now do with the AI, with the API, for like very little amounts of money. So businesses that have been sitting comfortable are now feeling threatened, and of course they're going to push back, and they're going to try and push back with other means, like legally. And some of these are content producers, like like the New York Times, because suddenly now I don't need to go to the New York Times website anymore to search for news. I can just ask OpenAI, and OpenAI will go and do it for me. I don't even have to visit the site, so they don't get the click, and they don't get to sell their advertising. So businesses are feeling threatened, and it makes sense. But I think you can't stop progress, because I don't see how I'm going to go back to using Google when I've got Perplexity. And it's just a matter of time. Eventually it's progress, it will happen, and people must just move and learn. If your business is going to be killed by OpenAI, well, evolve instead of trying to, I think this censorship stuff will pass. We've seen the regulations come out early this year. The EU, they're not real regulations, they're more like guidelines, to be honest. So even the lawmakers are recognizing that this is happening. And the lawmakers are behind the technological development, because the EU regulations or guidelines are coming out after the fact, after these AI products have already been there. Normally, you need to regulate something and then stuff is supposed to build according to the regulations. But the AI just happened and then the regulators are trying to catch up. But within the regulations, there's nothing threatening at all towards AI. In fact, they are more like guidelines, like you should consider these and these things. They're not even like, the only things that are forbidden that I've seen in that regulations is things around real-time tracking of people using facial recognition, AIs, things like using AI for to invade people's spaces, like maybe custom, going into Facebook and like scanning everyone's face and trying to create a database of everyone's names and whatever. Those kind of AI applications are the only things I've seen that are being banned. Other than that, the stuff we're seeing with ChatGPT is like the regulations are very open. There's nothing legally actually standing in their way. It's more companies are going to sue because they're feeling threatened. And OpenAI has already made an announcement that anybody using their platform, if they get sued, they will cover their legal costs. So I'll test them out at this point. But they're pretty confident that they'll win the cases, that even if I am using OpenAI and I'm using their API and then somehow, SABC decides to sue me for something, I can actually go to OpenAI and OpenAI will pay my legal fees for being sued because I'm using their API, So I don't think that this is going to be a problem, personally. Yeah. And with that, I think I'm going to close the event. We've got over. Thank you guys for coming. You guys were a lovely crowd. We'll do this again within a very soon. I'm going to go through the chat and just make sure I haven't missed anything. But yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.